Welcome everybody for my first Redstone tutorial for noobs. There's a lot of Redstone tutorials out there, but I think a lot of them do wrong as they don't explain what is actually going on. Yes, they'll show you how to make this giant machine that does something, but they won't actually explain what each individual part is doing, or why each thing is doing what it is. Which is what I think a lot of Redstone tutorials lack. So, in this Redstone tutorial series, I will be going through up from the very basics of Redstone. Like the extreme basics for someone who has never done Redstone before. So they can learn how Redstone works. And how it reacts in different situations, so they can design and make their own machines without depending on someone else's design or looking it up on YouTube. Because it's a lot easier to learn if you know, or a lot easier to apply things if you know exactly what's going on in the machine. Whereas you can look at one of the giant machines someone else has made for a long time and you will still have no idea what is going on. So, let's start with the extreme basics. A redstone signal will travel 15 blocks from a torch to another block. So, this is a 15 block current. Any farther than that, and the redstone is no longer powered and will not power this lamp. So 15 blocks to the torch, 15 blocks from there to here. 16, it will not power the lamp. That is, if you include the torch, it is 16 blocks, but we're not including the torch here. Just how long the power travels. And back here, we have buttons. Buttons will travel the same distance as such. One of the things there are now two buttons in the game, one stone one and one wooden one. A stone one has a slightly shorter period of power. I think it's 2 ticks. 2 ticks of power compared to 3 with this wooden button. Whereas a wooden pressure plate does the exact same as a stone pressure plate, and they're both charged for the same amount of time. However, a stone pressure plate will not react to anything being put on top of it, where a wooden pressure plate will. And that's something else. Let's quickly jump back to the wooden button here. A wooden button, oh, didn't mean to do that, will react to being shot from an arrow. An arrow will activate a wooden button, whereas an arrow will not activate a stone one. Just like how dropping an item on a wooden pressure plate will activate the wooden pressure plate, whereas it would not a stone one. Now, then you have the special pressure plates, the gold and the iron pressure plate. The weighted pressure plates, the light and the heavy. They do what they say respectively. The heavy pressure plate and this pressure plate, they react to the amount of entities on them. So, to get the full charge all the way there, you need to throw 15 items on the gold pressure plate. 15 items. A stack of items, because of the way Minecraft works, clumping them all together like that, only counts as a single entity on top of there. Or, well, it only counts as a single thing on top of there because it clumps it together. So a stack will not work. You're better off throwing 15 individual items on there, like so. They did not all land on there, did they? Oh well. Slightly more than 15. But I think some of the ones aren't actually on the pressure plate. Yeah, I don't think that iron's on the pressure plate. But oh well. It takes 15 items to power that lamp from here. And on an iron pressure plate, it takes an extreme amount of items to do the same deed. And I gave up when I got to 45. And it was still only to about here. So, yeah. Then you have the daylight sensor. Daylight sensor senses daylight and will give a different amount of power depending on the time. It's going to night. If we do time, set, there's a space there, set day, you can see the electrical, or the, not electrical, redstone charge travels much further. And as the sun rises, about the time it gets to noon, it will be charging fully and hitting the lamp, and turning on the lamp. And then you have comparators. Comparators send out a redstone signal based on the amount of items in an inventory. See how I have that many? I have a ton of items in here. If I finish filling it up with redstone, it should hit the lamp. See, lamp. I'm not just removing one. Yeah, removing one stack. See, now the lamp is on. Now it's off. Still not on because there's only 63 items in that final stack. So that's the way comparators work. They judge the amount of items in a inventory. Comparators also work for hoppers. If I throw all these things in there. See, now it's on. They, I believe they do not work for furnaces. Or wait, no, they do. Never mind. They do indeed work for furnaces. However, I probably need to cook things for it to work fully. But you can see, it is traveling to here. I'm willing to bet if that slot is open, is full, with cooked items, it will work. However, they do not work with ender chests, as far as I can tell. Throwing tons of items in an ender chest will not produce a redstone signal of any form. No redstone signal produced. No, it appears I forgot to tell you about the trap chest. Well, quickly back to trap chests. And why not? I'm going to check a juice box. The trap chest produces a signal only one block away from itself. It will not produce this. If I put a comparator here, it will charge the comparator. If I do that and put a comparator, it will not charge the comparator. Trap chest's only one block away from itself. Keep that in mind if you're ever looking into making a trap, that you will need to put something there to extend the signal. And I don't think I checked. Let's see if this works. I am in no way a redstone expert. Okay, so they do not give off a redstone signal. Actually, let's check with the comparator. Okay. You can get a jukebox to give off a redstone signal if you want. I think that could be useful for map making, probably. Or traps. That could even be used for a trap. Or a neat little activation device. If you use a comparator with a jukebox, it will apparently give off a one block redstone signal. Away from the comparator, that is. If you were to place something here, it would be charged. If you were to place something there, it would also be charged. And here's one of the other things you need to know if you're working with redstone. Although a redstone signal will only travel 15 blocks from a torch, if at the end of those 15 blocks you put down a repeater or a comparator, it will extend the signal. A comparator does not extend the signal nearly as far as a repeater, as you can tell. It's only one block. However, a repeater will extend the signal another 15 blocks. This is the basics of redstone signals. And I have one more thing I want to talk about before I end the episode. So I will return to you in a moment once I have that set up. Alright, here's another very basic redstone mechanic. If you charge the block a redstone torch is positioned on, it will deactivate the redstone torch. See? If you charge that block, these get deactivated. This also works with a redstone torch below a redstone block. And so forth. It's a really easy way to get redstone to climb directly upwards, if you need it to. Right now, it would be set in the off position. If I wanted it on, it would be on. A redstone torch would also turn off a block if it was positioned like this, etc. It would also charge this block, allowing that redstone to be charged by this torch through the block. That works the same with a block like this. Well, it's going to connect here, but if I stop it from being connected... Wait, no it doesn't. Just ignore that. I thought it did work. Oh no, it doesn't work like that. You need a repeater for it to work, don't you? As I said, I am in no way a redstone genius. And if you do that, you can openly put the redstone like that and create a junction going upwards. And if you really wanted to, you could have that thing there, because that is being charged by the redstone on top of it, therefore that torch is off. Whereas, let's say if I place that there, and I broke this torch, that torch is now on, and that is now charged. Now it is not charged. That is the very basic thing of charging blocks. A charged block will give off a redstone signal. See, if there's a redstone placed there, it will give it off that way. We'll give it off that way. We'll give it off that way. And, as already stated, it gives it off on the top as well. I'm not sure... Oh, it also gives it off below. And one other thing. A charged block, like that, will charge all lights around it, like so. that one torch is charging all 6 of the lights. And off camera, I decided to check with a minecart and comparator. It does not work. With a minecart with a chest and a comparator does not give off a redstone signal. I hope this really basic tutorial helped with something, especially if you're really new. A lot of you probably already knew most of this stuff, but everyone needs to start somewhere, don't they? Some people might have learned stuff that they didn't know already. This is going to become a fairly regular series on my channel, hopefully. And it will steadily get more complex and difficult as time goes on. And if there's ever any redstone update or changes, I will create a video explaining them. But yeah, this is Redstone for Noobs. It's going to be really basic. Going to teach you through all the steps, not just you place this block here, this there, which then charges this, which is that, and then yada yada yada. Right, just some giant machine that a lot of people show and doesn't really ever explain why everything happens. But yeah, if you learned something or you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe for more redstone tutorials and other games. And have a great day. Bye bye.